disturbing creation from the mind of one sick and who can't tell the difference and gets stupefied.
Okay, hey guys, so here is my update. I mentioned earlier that I would show you guys how to tint clear resin or clear plastic. I haven't tried on any of the Bandai kits, things like that. I thought about doing it to my unicorn, my master grade unicorn. I just haven't gotten up the gumption to take it apart, any of the pieces apart to try it. But what I'm going to be using today, one bottle of RIT dye. You can find this at most grocery stores. It's concentrated. I think I got this bottle, it's like $2.85, something like that. I chose Scarlet. They have a wine, which wasn't the color that I wanted, and they have a fuchsia. And I almost got it because it was a brighter red. And this is coming out really dark on the camera, I can tell. But I think this is going to be a nice, good color red for what we're doing. Word of warning. Gloves. These are just nitrile gloves. You can pick them up most stores. They're really cheap. Protect your hand. If you get the dye on your hand, you get the dye on anything, you're pretty much guaranteed to stain it. Unless you're at an ex-girlfriend's house and you don't give a crap, make sure everything is protected. Do not use your wife's good cooking pans for this. Because there are chances that residue will stay behind in the pan, and you don't want that. Use something like I'm using Mr. Paint Stir on this, just to separate. When it comes out of the bottle, it's going to be really thick. What I do is, I have 2 bottles of it, but I'm not making that big of a batch, and this is reusable. So, but what I do is I take 1 bottle of this to 1 bottle of warm water. You take your piece like so. This is one of the clear pieces for the unicorn bust, and you want to put your clip somewhere on it that's not going to show, because there's chances that the color is not going to permeate that part of the resin. This piece I haven't sanded, I haven't done anything to. In some cases that's good, because it means the pores are more open if it's rough, so it'll soak up more. And let's see here. Make sure and have paper towels down on your counter. On my stove, I have a tendency of I will completely surround the burner with foil, and the other side have a container. This is like a Pyrex dish. It's glass, non-porous. I'm not worried about staining it. It just got water in it, and it's for dipping the piece in. Right now I've got the liquid warming up. Picked up just a cheap stainless steel pan. I would say just go with stainless steel. This was like $3.95 at my local grocery store. Came with the lid, so you can see it's all nice and red. Anyway, so we will let that warm up, and once it's warmed up, I will come back and show you guys how to do the process. Okay, so we're back. Now what I did was I kicked it up to medium just to get it nice and warm, and then drop it back down to a low. I don't know if you can tell, it's just kind of a slow roll. You do not want to boil it. You don't want it to splash. Plus, you don't want it that hot, because it will cause the resin to warp. You can see the rinse water. I have already done like a test piece. And this is one of Bayonetta's sides of her hair. And so I just grabbed it as a test piece because it's clear. So you can see how that ended up coming out. Nice and red. What I did was I used a meat thermometer to test it, and you want it somewhere around 145, 150 is perfect. but you don't want it too warm because it'll cause the resin to warp. So here we have our piece, and we're going to dip it in. You want to keep it moving. Don't let it sit. Don't let it touch the sides. Transfer it over to the water, and the water is cold, or coldish. And doesn't look bad, but let's go a little bit more. So we'll just redip. And you can continue to do this until you reach the color that you want. And as you can see, even with the bleed off that's on there, there's not that much on there, so it's not covering it. The whole purpose in this, and this is the part that you will see once it's in the kit. Let's bring it over where it's in the brighter light. What ends up happening with this process, instead of just coating it with clear color, what you're doing, and this right here, by the way guys, is exactly why you wear gloves, because otherwise your hand will be stained. But the purpose in this is it heats up the resin, the pores in the resin, so it sucks in the color, and then by cooling it back down, it kind of closes back up the pores. So instead of just being a top coat like a clear paint would be, this is actually permeating the resin. And theoretically, you could do this to white resin, things like that, to give it a tint, but you're not going to get a solid color. It'll just kind of be funky. This only seems to work on the red. And like I said, this is something that I learned working in the optical field, working in the lab. It's the same process, a little different chemical, but it's the same process as when you get sunglasses and they're colored. They sit there and you just keep dipping them. That's how you see the people that the top is darker, the bottom is lighter, the top is pink, bottom is blue. You see all kinds. That's exactly how the process is done. If you have a piece that you actually want on one end darker, the other end lighter, you can use a clip or something like this, and you'll just hold the piece vertical and just dip like this, keep an eye on it. You want the side that you want darker and longer, and the other side out just a little bit. And once this dries and everything, we'll see how the color turns out. And the nice thing is, once this is sanded, it's not going to take off the color. It's still going to be there. Because it's not all the way through the resin, but it's in there pretty deep. It's in there a couple of layers. If you think about it like skin, you have 7 layers of skin. This is permeating, 5 layers. Anyway, so I hope this helped you guys out a lot. If so, let me know. If there's anything else you want to know, let me know. I'm willing to try. You can do this with any color. I might try and do this on my red frame. Not my red frame. My master grade unicorn, on things like the shield and so forth, to get rid of the pink color and give it a nice red. Anyway, I will talk to you guys later, and I will see you in the next episode.